Hey Rick, how you doing?
Good morning, Keith. I'm fine. How about yourself?
Good. For this podcast, I want to I know we talked about doing doing a podcast about authors. And so maybe when we meet next time, we can do one on authors. And I'd love for you to share some books with folks. On this one, I want to talk about one particular book just briefly and just get your thoughts about it and just read one quick passage out of the book. And my good friend Fiona, who we work together and we become really great friends, shared a book with me. She got this book a long time ago. I think when she was living in the UK. She's from England, and she's just taught me a lot. I've grown a lot by knowing her professionally and as a person. And the title of the book is called "The Boy, the Mule, the Fox, and the Horse." Okay, and so here's what the book looks like here. Can you see that?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Great. And it's all the pages have been, illustrated. And here's a couple pages here of the boy right here. And so again, the title of the book is The Boy, the Mule, the Fox, and the Horse. Quotes from the book. And I'm going to give you a couple quotes from the book. What was interesting about the book that I really liked is it talks about all the things that we talk about, but it's really about people helping each other. And there are people that are so different. You got a horse, you got a boar, you got a mole, you got a fox. And the fox wants to, eat the mole, and the mole wants cake, and the horse, has wings, but hides them because it made the other horses jealous. And so they're on this journey, and they get caught up in the storm. But it's how they communicate and support each other along the way. So along the way, as they're discovering each other and learning about each other, they start asking each other questions. So and what you find is this wisdom being exchanged about how you can continue to grow and develop as a human being, or in this case, as your best self. In the case of the fox, the mole, and the horse. And so one of the quotes from the book is the boy says, he asks, "When have you been at your strongest?" He asked the horse. And the horse replied, "When I have dared to share, I mean, when I've dared to show my weakness." I like, how beautiful is that? "When have you been your strongest?" asked the boy. "When I've dared to show my weakness," replied the horse. And you and I have done exactly that, right? I mean, I am so inspired when you are vulnerable and you've been open our whole friendship, our whole relationship. And I've done the same with you. You've seen me during times in my life where, had it not been for you and your compassion and how you just open your heart to me during times where I was, going through relationship difficulty, much of it at my own doing, when I was, trying to find a place to live, when my business was on the brink. I had all this shame that was right there, that I could have been in the grips of. And you provided this space and this soft landing for me. And just by listening and just sharing your own vulnerability, right? Your own challenges in life. And we've done that. You, Matt, Brian, Tim, we've done that for each other, right? We've done that, and it's created this space. So I think for sure that when I have been my strongest was when I've dared to show my weakness. What about you?
Well, yeah, it's an enormous topic, and I think what you're talking about is trust.
Yes.
And one of the things that we're taught as men is to be very careful who you trust, and don't show any emotion. And I think those two things can be deadly, instead of clinically helpful or therapeutic. Um, I also believe that you have to be careful about what you're really experiencing. And so, in order to be completely vulnerable, you have to be honest about it.
Yes.
And for me, I was a functioning alcoholic. I think, looking back on when I was doing heavy drinking in my early part of the career, I would never admit that to anyone. But because it seems like a weakness, I was self-medicating to get past my problems. And that's a very hard thing to admit. But if you're with people who accept it and don't judge you, and understand that your pain comes from something deep within, and perhaps something that they've similarly experienced, then you can kind of work it out. You feel like you're not alone. You feel like it's something that you can handle because the other person has handled it as well. And I've had so many, so many examples of failure in my life. By the way, this might be a good point to say, I know that book. I really like that book a
Isn't it
lot.
great?
It's almost like a kid's book. It's something like a comic
Yes.
book in a way. But I do remember one amazing quote that when I was very, very low in my life, and I've been low a lot, I think it was the mole who said, if at first you don't succeed, have some cake.
Yes, that's the moment. That was
And I've always remembered that because I thought, we're always so interested in finding fault with ourselves, not trusting ourselves and beating ourselves up for things. And I just love that quote because sometimes it's like, oh my God, another failure. Oh, all right, I'm gonna have some cake,
absolutely.
let it go. Have some cake and let it go.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm gonna read just a few more because I don't want to give it away. I'm hoping people will go out and get the book. And there's one where, and you and our friendship is all about this, and we just have such a great friendship, Rick. And it's a quote where it goes, "Asking for help isn't giving up," said the horse. "It's refusing to give up."
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wow, right? It's the refusal to give up by you asking for help. And I've done that so many times in my life, man. Giving up, this whole thing about if I ask for help, it's like you mentioned before, it's weakness or it's showing that I don't know something, whether it's at the workplace. I tell people all the time, hey, teach me. Or if it's something that I don't know. So I don't have this kind of imposter syndrome. I had it before when I was a perfectionist, but as a recovering perfectionist, that went away, man. I asked for help all the time, like all the time. So that was one quote that really stuck with me. And did you want to say anything about that one, Rick?
I think that's spot on. I can't add anything more. I just love the idea that you picked this book. The entire book is packed with beautiful
Oh,
things.
it's unbelievable. It's my friend Fiona. Here's another one. What's your best discovery? Asked the mole. That I'm enough as I am, said the
Yeah.
boy. I mean, it's just so beautiful, you know. And
Mm.
here's the last one I'll read. What do we do when our hearts hurt? Asked the boy. We wrap them with friendship, shared tears, and time till they wake hopeful and happy again. Rick, that's what we've done. We've wrapped everything in this bond, this affinities and unconditional love, in our friendship, and it's just been beautiful, man. I mean, how long have we been friends now?
I think we met in '06,
Yeah,
and I
six.
think,
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
So it's been a
It's
few
been a
years.
minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's right. That's true. Well, that's right. I think that's what people do for one another, and I think that's the point of marriage, right?
Yeah,
The idea that it's twice as much fun being with somebody, and when bad times show up, it's half the pain because you can share with somebody who
right.
loves you and won't judge you.
Yeah, and that's definitely been our case. But yeah, I just want to encourage, our audience to go get this book, to order it. And again, it's called The Boy, the Mole, and the Fox. And there's the author right there, right there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, wow, man. Rick, thank you so much for a great show. Big shout out to my friend Fiona for introducing me to that. She says that she wants to share with other people, but I'm holding on to it. So I got to buy my own.
That's great, Keith. Hey, thanks for bringing up that book. That's really going to help people.
Yeah, it is, Rick. I love you.
I love you. We'll see you next time.
Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.
Adios.
Adios.